All right, I'm super excited to host this week's training topic, and it's about time management. And I get so fired up about this topic because my biggest pet peeve, I guess, as a coach is when, either challengers or coaches come to me and they say, "Oh my gosh, I just don't have time for this." When truly it's a business built on like time time management's not even a good word. Time strategy is a great word. So when I first became a coach, I had a lot on my plate. For those of you who don't know, I'm a labor and delivery nurse by trade. At the time I was working full-time night shift. I commuted nearly an hour each way, and that's 12-hour shifts. And so on top of that, I'm looking at like a 14 plus hour work day. Um, I was in school for my bachelor's degree. My twins were just about two and a half. And my husband was starting a new business, and we had just kind of relocated back to the mainland after living in Hawaii. So my husband was really kind of PO'd that I decided to take another thing on my plate. But something I've always strived at is being able to make things work in my life despite what I have going on. If it's important to me, if there's a will, there's a way, and I truly believe that. And that doesn't mean, making so many sacrifices in your life that you're giving up things that you love, but it does mean maybe making short-term sacrifices for a long-term benefit and payoff. Just 6 months after I became a coach, I hit Diamond. I started making, a good amount of income. And from there on, I was able to actually cut down to part-time and move my job closer to where I live now, about 8-minute commute. So just know that the sacrifices we ask you to make now are usually temporary because you have this vision of where you want to go. You want that freedom. A lot of people sign up to be a coach because they want extra time with their families, and I'm here to tell you it's possible. I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I still make mistakes, but I wanted to give you some of the tools that have helped me over time. Just kind of navigate through how I should be spending my time as a coach to get the most benefit out of my time without having to contribute a ton to it. So that being said, let's see if that'll go. Okay. So I'm going to talk about why time management is important, right? So as becoming a diamond, as you become a diamond, you start to grow a team, right? You start to have coaches under you who are building their business, and you're still managing your challenge groups and customers and that side of things that you're used to. But then there's this other element that comes into play, and that's the team aspect. And your coaches are going to rely on you to help support them to their goals, kind of like we're doing here with this Push to Diamond training. And they're there to learn from you, and that's the beauty of multi-level marketing and multi-level helping, and all these companies like Beachbody. But you have to realize that as you grow, it's important to have a structure in place because your time is still just as valuable, but there's a few extra things on your plate. And if you go in with the right tools, you'll be more set up for success. You have some more responsibilities, like I mentioned, as a diamond and above coach. You're not responsible for other people's success, but you do feel a sense of responsibility to help people, just as we do like with health and fitness. We're trying to help them have financial freedom and grow their business. So there are another set of responsibilities that go along with being a diamond coach. You can easily be pulled in a million different directions. Once you become diamond, you join the Hard Hitters leadership page. There's other groups you get, added to. All of a sudden, once you're pushing for like 1-star and above, there's corporate groups you get to be a part of with corporate mentors. And it's just so many things, and they're all exciting, they're all great, but you have to be able to still manage your time so good so you can be a part of multiple things without just getting overwhelmed. My next point, you can get easily overwhelmed. It's a lot of things like I just talked about. But if you have the tools, the structure now is going to help you be able to handle these things as you grow, because that's our whole goal here, right? Is to grow an awesome team where we can help other people gain success financially. So let's talk time wasters. And these are things I catch myself doing all the time. So I try to always remember this. And it is, like I said, it's about sacrifice, but the scrolling Facebook, huge time waster. And it's also sometimes a mojo killer. Like you'll be scrolling Facebook and I mean, come on, you've done this. Where you're like, oh gosh, that post was so good. Oh gosh, oh my gosh, her post is so good. I need to get back. I need to do something. Like, and you get so distracted by the task at hand because you're scrolling Facebook. You're like all over the place because you think your post has to be as good as this person or that person or whatever. So just don't do it, okay? I listened to a training from Bonnie Engel about how she tells her new coaches to follow top coaches like Steph Davies, Bonnie Engel, Melanie Mitro in the first 3 months as a coach, and then completely unfollow them. Because by that point, you've got the gist of what a coach does, right? And then after that, it's about tuning into you and what you have to offer people. So in that other stuff, you get so discouraged and it's just noise, right? Seeing other people's posts and seeing other people respond to them, you're like, oh, why isn't anyone responding to my post? So I actually started unfollowing a lot of the top coaches that I followed in the past just because of this. Just a tip, if any of you want to take it, try it out for a little while, but it's been good for me. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Other time wasters, Pinterest, TV shows. I'm a huge Real Housewives fan. And it's something that I totally cut out when I first started being a coach. Like that was my time. During nap time, I used to, watch Real Housewives and make a big fancy lunch for myself and just chill out. But my boys nap for like 3 hours, so that's kind of unnecessary. So, I work out. I still watch those shows. I record them just when I have extra time to kind of treat myself. So I haven't given them up completely. I've just re-strategized my time and kind of taken a step back to see what's really important for me. Online shopping, time and money waster, right? Gossip magazines, Us Weekly, all those things. And, useless cat YouTube videos that, we all get sucked into watching. But again, like I mentioned, making these small sacrifices, it's not forever, but if you want this that bad, do get rid of these things in your life, okay? It's going to be so much more worth it in the end for your time and your sanity. So when it comes to time management, the first thing I want you to do is divide and conquer, meaning I want you to make a list of your priorities in your life. Of course, your family's always number one, right? I think that's true for everyone here. You have to prioritize your family, your work, your friends, your church or your faith, extras in your life, and then figure out where Beachbody fits in that puzzle. For me, I made it a point to get up an hour extra when I first became a coach, and I still do this, an hour before anybody gets up, just so I have that focused time for myself to plug in for my power hour. And I just knew that was the time that I could work best. I'm not a night person, even though I work night shift. It doesn't make sense, but I cannot work at night. It's like 5 o'clock, my brain shuts down, and I don't like to do work stuff. I feel like all fuzzy and foggy, but some people thrive at night. So if that's your time, schedule it. Make that your power hour time. If it's not, don't work during that time. If you got kids that nap during the day, hello, power hour. It's like the best time. And if your kids don't nap, we'll talk about that a little bit, but you do have to, figure out where it's going to fit in your life, because we all have different things going on, right? Your kids may be in sports and have different things going on the weekends. So maybe you can't plug in on the weekends. Maybe you have to double up your power hours during the week sometimes. So you have to just take a step back, look at the big picture of your life, look at all your pieces, and find where that Beachbody puzzle piece is going to fit in. And you have to stick to it. That's the key. You find that sweet spot where Beachbody belongs and you stick to it. You schedule it. You get a planner. And you schedule it in your life, because it should be, Beachbody, this business should be as routine to you as brushing your teeth. I love every single day I get to do my power hour. Like sometimes I sneak off when my kids are like playing, or they're watching a movie, and I sneak in a little extra power hour time. But you know what? I enjoy it, and I'm not, taking away from my family, but you just have to schedule it. You have to stick to it, and you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in your actions and in your time, okay, and how you strategize your time. Oh, the last point I wanted to make is that there's a lot of people who maybe they have a lot of extra time. They're single, or, they just find themselves with oodles amount of time. You also can't let Beachbody fill all of your extra time, right? I want it to be just an hour a day for you. I don't want it to be much more than that, because then it's consuming. And say you have a spouse or significant other, like, schedule time when you're not doing Beachbody. Like, your phone is gone away in your bedroom. I try and keep mine in my bedroom at nighttime, in the evening time. So that's just like a sacred time for our family. And I just try and stick to that as much as I can. And so, a lot of us are really busy, but if you do have a lot of extra time, like if you're a stay-at-home mom and you have, I don't know, a lot of stay-at-home moms that don't have, that have a bunch of extra time, but if you're one of them, you need to schedule that time and be specific with it so it doesn't consume every second of your life. So the next thing I want to talk about is tracking your time. And like I said, you're going to schedule your power hour every day where that puzzle piece fits in your life. You have to find the sweet spot. And then I want you to set a timer for your tasks. Yeah, a timer. And I don't just mean set an hour timer. I started doing this, and I just have a sense of completion when I'm done. Like, I did all I could do, I powered through it, and I'm done for the day. And if I have extra time later, I could plug in again, but if that's all I get done for the day, I've done my job. So I want you to set timers for specific tasks, not just the hour. 10 minutes to return messages, 20 minutes, this is just an example, but 20 minutes to schedule, pre-schedule your groups or your challenge groups, putting your things in Buffer or Postcron if you use one of those pre-scheduling apps. And maybe 10 minutes to plan your posts on social media for the next couple days. Now, this doesn't mean you can't be like snapping pictures of your food throughout the day, because I do that. I'm always taking pictures and creating content for later use. And maybe now this is the time I can go back and edit a few pictures and, get them ready to post. Put your distractions away. I heard Sarah Gobb on a time management call once that she has a box in her office where she'll put her phone in so she can knock it on her phone. She is only on her computer. She's only in Messenger. So, when you're on like Facebook Messenger, and you can go into just the messages, because she's just returning messages for that 10 minutes or whatever it is. Other distractions we have, are our kids. And, I know I can't work 100% to my full capacity if my kids are running around. Even if they're playing well in the other room, it's just hard for me to really focus in. And then, they have needs, and I'm here for them, and I have to get pulled away, and then I lose track of what I'm doing. So if your kids are a distraction, don't work around the time when your kids are awake. Maybe you have to do it late that night, or maybe you have to get up early in the morning. If your husband's a distraction, if he's around during the day and it's hard for you to get work done, don't do it around that time when there's extra distraction. And then I also posted in the file section the coach tracker. This was given to me, and a lot of other coaches use this too, from Brandy Botts. She created it. And it's a big tracker, but there's a few really key pages in there of just check boxes for your power hour, where you can go down and you'd be like, did I do that? Oh, yep. Did I, hey girl? Did I comment on people's posts? Did I like people's posts? Did I start conversations? Did I do these things? And you just check them off, and then you check off that whole list, and your power hour is done. And I love it because it's like totally focused on what you should be doing in your power hour. And that brings us to the power hour. So what should you be doing during power hour? Well, you can be doing a lot of different things. You can be doing your personal development, taking notes. You can do your workout in your power hour. Hello, we have like 22-minute hardcore. That's only 22 minutes. And then you can plan your next week or month out, what challenge groups you're going to be having. What I do a lot of the times during my power hour is, as names pop in my head of people I've had conversation with, I rewrite a list for the next month of people that I'm going to start reaching out to for my challenge groups, whether it's people who I've spoken with or started conversations with, or people who have turned me down in the past but say, oh, keep me in mind for the future. I just make those lists so I have something to work from each month as the month turns over, so I'm not just starting from square zero on the first of the month. And then set your goals during your power hour. Every single one of you should be setting goals. We asked you to do this on day one with setting your diamond rank goal, right? So I'm talking personal goals, fitness goals, 2-week goals, 1-year goals, whatever they are, you need to be setting those, okay? Um, you're using your power hour to connect with people, sending those hey girl messages. This is a business about connections and finding out what people's needs are so you can help satisfy them. And when you're done, you're done. Set those timers. Like I said, break it down, set the timers. When the buzzer goes off, done, close the laptop, be done. Okay? The last point I want to talk about is getting your peeps on board. And what I mean by that is making a plan with whoever is your support person in your life. Being open and honest with them about your goals for this business. This is a big mistake that I made in the beginning, you guys. My husband, he was supportive, but like I said, I had a lot on my plate and he didn't want this taking away from our family time and different things. So, I kind of was like, oh, yeah, no, it's just this thing. It's just like running a challenge group. I'm just, it's okay. It's not going to take that much time. Well, I would sneak away here and there to like get on my phone and message people back and thought I had to respond to people right away. But, that's not the case. You don't have to do that. You can respond to people just in your power hour and they're not going to hate you. I promise. So get your spouse on board, set your expectations with your family. If you say, hey, I really need you to support me on this, and like I said before, if your kids don't nap and you need this, then set up a time with them so they can be that support for you. And just be open